JJ. Hit it. It's time for the Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
And we welcome you in. Today's new drug was one more day of a fantastic golf tournament here at Deer Creek. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, and JJ LaSelva with you. We are out at Deer Creek today as we're Helmets and Heels and NXL Primetime. We finished off the fourth annual Dailies Walkoff Charities Golf Classic. So much appreciation for our friends at Dailies, but appreciation for the folks that sold out this golf tournament. And another really important day for children in Jacksonville wanting to play baseball. It's a cool day.
Yeah, absolutely. Did I see you throwing strikes out there?
I did. Well, we had one. Well, we have a lot of baseball fun stuff on the golf course. One is you putt. You have one putting green where you putt with a bat. You have another where you hit off a tee, a baseball off a tee, and then wherever it lands, the further you get to play your golf shot for them. We push it way up, and then they had one area where you had to throw a strike. You had to throw a strike on a pitch. So our scout team players were there, and they said, Mr. Frank, you going to try it? I said, of course I'm going to try it. Okay. They said, well, we have this big mat. If you saw the picture, this big mat with a picture of a batter and then the square. Okay. Well, we had a lot of golfers missing the mat, not just missing the square.
Oh, wow.
We had some golfers.
Okay.
So I said, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw it right down the middle. You're going to go through. I'm going to throw it through the square. I'm going to throw it through the square. But I want all you young guys on our scout team to put it up on all your social channels. I want it on TikTok. I want it on Instagram. Do they still have Snapchat? Is that a thing?
I think so.
Okay, I want it on that. I don't even know what that
Periscope?
is.
Did they Periscope it?
It better be. So I looked at it. So I took it right down the middle, right there in this little box. It was on Twitter. And they were a little bit wild. There's no question that had great velo. That thing had to be 18, 20 miles an hour, minimum. Mm-hmm. And someone said,
location.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Though.
Yeah, see, here's the problem. Throwing strikes was never a problem, okay? The problem was those damn hitters, okay? If I could have, look, without hitters, I'd have been a hell of a pitcher. Just so you know that's where it went wrong, Hayes.
The Buck Bellew story doesn't exist without Buck Bellew?
Correct, okay. That's where the whole thing went wrong.
Gotcha.
Buck was there.
Right.
And yes, we threw one right down the middle, and I heard some made it and some threw pretty poorly, and so there you go. But we had a wonderful golf tournament today, and I am so proud of Jacksonville's people for showing up at that thing. A real tip of the cap to Kennedy Grayson from our staff. She crushed it. She built this tournament. She ran this tournament. Our friend Kathy Herbert had run it forever, and Kathy kind of passed it on to Kennedy and was kind of her advisor, but Kennedy took it all. And Jared Simmons, our executive director, who does so much work, he's so fluid in work, you don't even realize he's doing work and he's getting things done. And a lot of the friends of a lot of our staffers were out here, and it was a wonderful tournament. So a great day today, and again, I thank my friend Steve Griffin and all the folks at 1010XL for always letting our shows come out here and talk about it and do what we do. And so it was a great day. It was a great day all the way around. And so
and the auction is still live for another few hours.
The auction till 6 o'clock, and we've got some great auction items out there. Go to walkoffcharities.com. We're going to keep it live till 6. I know the savvy auction people know how to do it right before 6, but go ahead and get ahead of it on some of the other items. We hope you will. But it was a great day today. It was a special day today for Walkoff Charities and helping kids play baseball, and that is a big deal. So thank you for asking about it. So great day today. So we're very excited about it. So all right, all kind of fun stuff. Talk about a special day today. We award our Duval County Scholar Athletes of the Year. All year long, you've heard our Duval County Scholar Athletes of the Week. Well, we've got one boy, one girl who won the Athletes of the Year. They're both going to join us in the next segment. They're here at Deer Creek. They came out to do it on location. Our friend Tammy Talley, who does such a marvelous job with the DCPS and running it all. She's out here today, and with the 1010XL is going to award scholarship checks to both, and you'll get to meet who they are. That comes up in just a bit. So we're certainly excited about that, too. So that's a special day. So that comes up in just a few minutes. Other things we'll talk about. We'll talk about those NBA Finals, okay? Last night wasn't as thrilling. Did you get the sense, I'm going to guess JJ this too, but I'll start with you. Did you have the sense the Pacers were coming back again, or did you feel like maybe last night it wasn't coming?
I felt like the Pacers, having the game one already under their belt.
One they had to win.
Yeah, going home to Indiana with a split. I didn't think they were going to rally.
Yeah.
I mean, but I watched.
Yeah.
I mean, until it was basically mathematically impossible.
I did too.
They had me.
I watched to the very end.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think Indiana did what they needed to do, and now they need to hold serve once it gets back to Indianapolis.
JD, did you feel like Hayes and I that last night they probably weren't ever coming back?
Yeah,
it felt that
exactly.
way to me.
I did watch until they took all the starters out, though, with like
Same
2
here.
minutes
That's
left.
that's when I stopped.
I think Oklahoma City was playing so ferociously on defense, even when they're up 20, 15, like late in the game. They were still in every Pacers face. Like, no shot was uncontested, even late in the game when they're up like 16. So I'm like, they're not allowing this. Not, it's not that the Pacers didn't have it in. I'm like, Oklahoma City was not going to let that happen again. So, yeah, I wasn't shocked about the blowout last night. But now the series begins.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. You
Best of five.
You got a 5-game series. You got a 5-game series coming up. You're exactly right. And home court switches to the Pacers.
Yeah.
I mean, not just the next game. They now have more games in there. Of the 5 remaining, they've got more games than Oklahoma City does. So,
yeah, they just have to hold serve at home, and they'll be the world champions.
And I will tell you this. Hayes and I talked about this a little before the show today. We've made our admissions, you and I particularly, many times over about the fact that we don't watch a lot of NBA, and I've always been honest about that. At least the current incarnation of the NBA. And so it would make sense that this is where I would be. I follow the stats. I follow the numbers. We all knew that Oklahoma City was running away with pretty much everything. We knew Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was going to win the MVP, scoring title, the whole bit. We all watched. But to watch him, if you didn't watch the league a whole lot, like me, I had no idea that the league had developed a guy that was that good. That Brunson I knew about. That didn't surprise me. Edwards I knew about. That didn't surprise me. But this guy, I mean, he's ridiculously good. I think he could go for 60 if he wanted to. I
agree.
He makes it look effortless.
Boy,
Yeah.
does he ever. I mean, he's having these 37-night games, 38-point games, or 27-point games. How many shots does he pass up? How many times does he make a move? He could shoot it. Now, the first game he shot more, but instead he passes to a guy with a better look. At least last night, I mean, wow. I remember him a little bit at Kentucky, like he was there one year. I remember that the Gators thought they had him. He committed, then he decommitted, went to Kentucky. I don't think Kentucky's team was all that good then.
I don't think so.
I certainly don't remember their team. And so I just missed the memo that there's a player in the league this good and this dominant like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. He's shooting at a very high percentage. He's decisive, takes good shots. And this was something the broadcast team did a good job last night of highlighting. He's just always in control, always in balance, even when he gets contact, things that would normally throw somebody off. He's strong enough to be able to stay in the perfect position, and his technique is flawless. So, yeah, he is here to stay as a superstar for many, many years to come. And I think most people still believe Oklahoma City is going to win the series, even though Indiana has home floor. If he wins a title, we know in the NBA what that does for his legacy. So, I mean, certainly an unbelievable player, and he's Canadian, so he'll be against the Americans.
I got thinking about that too.
In the Olympics and in the All-Star game and things like that, and he's going to be a problem.
If they decided the All-Star game is going to be us
USA versus the world,
has that been decided?
I don't know
we're headed.
The commissioner has talked openly about it. I don't know that they've sent out like the press release,
right.
but it seems like that's where it's headed.
You're right. I'm not sure we win.
We don't win. I don't think.
I was thinking about this today. If and I don't know the league well enough to know, but for the sake of today's conversation, just for the sake of today, the backcourt of the guys we're watching now, the two Canadians, okay, just Nebhard joins Gilgeous-Alexander
or Murray for Denver. It's much better
Lamont
than
Murray.
Nebhard.
That's okay. So good point. Great point. Murray, who's also Canadian. Great point. And the front court is whatever combination you want of Jokic, Luka,
Wemby.
Jokic.
And I said him, but I mean Jokic, Luka, Wemby,
Giannis.
Giannis. I mean, Embiid.
It's unbelievable.
That team. Would that team might roll this team?
Yeah,
I mean,
completely agree.
I got thinking about between Embiid, Giannis, Jokic, Luka, Gilgeous-Alexander, Murray.
Who are the great American players under the age of 32?
Yeah, they could play with this group.
Because people still throw out like LeBron and Curry on the American side.
Yeah.
I mean, those days are very numbered.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in terms of players 32 and under, I mean, Anthony Edwards?
He'd be one.
Give me a
It
break.
would be Tatum, but
Tatum would be, you could put the list together.
it's slim pickings, though.
I would take the international team and give you 15 points.
If Jalen Brunson, Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, if that's the group, they're good players. But compared to we haven't even gotten any big guys yet. But if that's the group compared to the ones we just ran off, yeah, it's pretty amazing. So we'll talk some NBA coming up a little bit later on. All right, other things we're going to get to in today's program. That house settlement finally is settled, Hayes, and that is all the rage. All the talk is this house settlement. All of the talk, and I'm going to go through what it means, how challengeable it is in court, how much it will be challenged in court, but what changes for your favorite team, and we'll get to that coming up on the program today. So I think that's interesting stuff. So we'll certainly get to that as well. The U.S. Open's right around the corner. We'll talk about that. And the Jaguars are on the field. 3 straight days of minicamp, mandatory minicamp, where the players are all going to be there, and we'll watch them. I'm excited. Now I think there's been so much in this offseason that everybody needs what's going to happen after Thursday, and that is a month and a half to catch your breath, right? I think we're going to need that month and a half. But I'm intrigued to see the end of the offseason, the way the offseason ends tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday.
There's a lot of storylines, I think, developing over the next 3 days. And the number one storyline is the fact that this mini camp exists. And this isn't to criticize Doug Peterson. I understand when he arrived, there was no trust between players and coaching staff.
Correct.
Urban Meyer had fractured that. His staff had fractured that. And Doug Peterson, reading the room when he arrived, said, I need to get these guys on my side, and I need to get us all rowing in the same direction. So he didn't have a mandatory minicamp as sort of a let me do this as a sign of good faith to our veterans and our players. And I think the players responded, and they went to the playoffs, won a division, won a playoff game. But then once he'd established that, then I think he was afraid to ever really have it. So the last 2 years, the mandatory minicamp became really a rookie showcase, more of a rookie mini camp, and he sent the veterans home for the most part. So, it's going to be, refreshing to have 3 days of what I think is going to be real work. And I do think that from a coaching staff standpoint, this is new and we don't know Liam Cohen yet, but historically it seems like staffs, once you get to this point, they're going to ratchet it up a little bit in terms of the units, how the depth chart looks. They really want to get a firm idea of mentally where the teams are, where the starters are before they do go on that break. They want to see the retention. And so I'm excited about it because I think you're going to see, obviously there's no contact, things like that, but I think the mental intensity will be higher these next 3 days than it's been in what's a voluntary portion of the offseason.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about today. We'll cover all those issues, the house settlement, all the things that changed there, the Jags, and a whole lot more. But we take a break. When we come back, let's say hello to our Duval County Scholar Athletes of the Year. That's next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with The Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's a feeling.
Do you feel it?
A buzz.
I feel it. I feel it as strongly as I've ever felt anything in my life.
A vibe.
I can feel it. I can feel it like it's right
1010XL. Sports talk for the First Coast.
Hi, it's Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass, there's one name I trust, and that's Lee & Case Glass. Mirrors, custom showers, tabletops, even foggy glass windows, they handle all that. And they've been doing it right since long before I ever picked up a mic. Local, family-owned, and part of this community, just like we are. They've taken great care of me, including our brand-new walk-off offices. Guys, they did a great job, and I promise they'll do the same for you. Lee & Case, it's the clear choice. Check them out at leeandcaseglass.com.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
Storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save 15% on roof replacements and repairs now through June 30th. And financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
Attention North Florida, it's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker. And it's not just poker. With delicious food, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com. And ante up for fun.
You know the players, so you pick them.
It's a good time, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Experience the fun of fantasy golf during the U.S. Open. Win $1,000 of jewelry from Beards Diamonds. Powered by Pella Windows and Doors. Go to 1010XL.com now.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentist and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Want a simple way to boost your company's image without a big renovation? A fresh paint job in your brand's colors can increase recognition up to 80%. At Performance Painting, we help companies stand out with clean, on-brand finishes that impress clients and energize employees. From color consultations to low-odor coatings that won't disrupt operations, we've got you covered. Visit performance-painting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Hello,
this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. And now, this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie Hayes Carline with you live from Deer Creek Country Club, the side of the Walkoff Charities, the 4th annual Dailies Walkoff Charities golf tournament. And we appreciate everybody that participated in this. It's not just our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. Today, we honor our Duval County Scholar Athletes of the Year. And we're going to say hello to both of them and congratulate them right now. They get partial scholarships, certainly scholarship dollars from 1010XL. We're certainly proud to be part of that, our partnership with the Duval County School System. Let's start with Leighton Yates. She is our female Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Year from Stanton. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be back.
It's great to have you here.
Thanks.
And we're going to also say hello to Ben Ward, who is our male Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Year. He's from Atlantic Coast High School. Ben, how are you?
Doing good. Great to be back.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. So obviously, there's a lot of good Duval County Scholar Athletes of the Week. Only 2 get to be the Scholar Athletes of the Year, so that's quite a big deal for us.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, Leighton, let me start with you, how you managed sports that you're so involved in. You talked about dance a little bit, but you diving, track and field, recreational dance. How do you manage all that and your grades are as good as they are?
Well, I used to do gymnastics, so I've kind of always grown up being super busy and having to deal with all of that. But I think the most important thing to do is just, if you have any free time at school or if you have any free time at home, to just go ahead and get your schoolwork done and like get ahead early on so you're not just rushing to complete things at the last moment. And that way, when you do finish stuff, you have the free time at the end of the day to like have fun.
All right, before you go, Hayes, I want to ask Ben the same question. It's a lot of stuff. Obviously, you're a basketball player and a very good one. Obviously, a very good student as well.
Mm-hmm.
To Leighton's point, how do you manage all of it?
Yeah, I mean, I won't sugarcoat it. I mean, it took me a while to kind of adapt to playing a lot of sports, especially going from middle school to high school, because I played a bunch of middle school as well. But yeah, I mean, just utilizing your free time is the biggest thing. Always make sure that you also are good, surrounded by a lot of good friends and people that will also push you to work hard as well. So yeah.
I know a lot of academic news since the last time we had you both on the show. So Leighton, give us the final destination. Where are you headed for your college dreams?
Yes, I am officially going to UF, so go
that
Gators.
Is awesome. And what do you want to do?
I will be doing biomedical engineering, which should be...
Why'd you pick Florida?
I kind of always knew, like, since it's so close to Jacksonville and my dad went to UF for graduate school, so it was kind of in the family. I knew if I got in, I would probably be going there. Good engineering program and everything.
And Ben, where are you headed?
I'm headed to Marquette University. Go Golden Eagles.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Milwaukee's awesome. I was mentioning you guys earlier. I took a tour on the campus in end of January, and I just fell in love with it. People there, it's such a community there. It's like family, and like I mentioned, man, Milwaukee's awesome. A lot of pro sports around the area, and I will be majoring in sports communications, so that'll be awesome to be surrounded by a bunch of sports teams. And yeah, the community Marquette's amazing. Loved it.
You and Dwayne Wade.
Me and Dwayne Wade, yes, sir.
So let's talk a little bit about that, and we'll talk both about your career path in a bit. But last time we visited, you were thinking Butler.
Yeah, yes, sir.
But both times, it's a Big East basketball Midwest school. How did that happen? I mean, we've had a lot of Duval County Scholar Athletes of the Year. We have not had a Marquette yet. Okay,
yeah.
We've had a lot of Floridas. We haven't had Marquette. How did the whole thing come about?
And I'm a big Midwestern guy. I have a bunch of family up there. I've always loved it. I mean, it is definitely way opposite weather, but I mean, like I mentioned, I'm a Midwestern guy through and through. Okay. I'm excited to get out of Florida and meet a bunch of new people, create a new community up there. So really excited to just explore and adventure out and see what happens up there. Hopefully some great things. So yeah.
Favorite athletic moment in your career, Leighton? We'll start with you. Whether it's a game, an individual performance, a moment with a teammate, what's going to be the one thing that you'll always fondly remember about being a high school athlete?
I will have to say back all the way in freshman year, going to states for diving, I think was really amazing because nobody would have ever expected that, especially since I had never done diving before. So it was really awesome to get to experience that my first year.
All right, talk more about after that. What are your plans at Florida? What are your expectations? You said what you're going to study. Are you going to go early? You're going to rush? What's the whole plan?
Yes. So I am going to be going down in the fall, but I do hope to be rushing. So I'll be there like a week early. So mid-August, I'll be moving down. And I'm anticipating a lot of schoolwork, especially with engineering, but I am hopefully going to be joining some like intramurals or like a dance club or something. So I'll make the most of my time there.
All right, same question that Hayes asked Leighton for you. Moment that stands out the most.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to say the same one I said last time.
That's fine. Not everybody was listening to both.
I mean,
That's
honestly,
okay.
no. I mean, honestly, it was. There's a lot of rough years, and not winning is really it's hard to kind of think of like a good moment. But honestly, okay, I will say this. I think this year, the senior year, was just turning the program around and finally getting a winning year with Coach Clark, and it was just so much fun, especially my senior night. Seeing the community come out to that game, it was probably the most packed game we've played. So yeah, just turning the season around, having finally a winning season, and yeah, I mean, winning games, that's fun. So probably the whole season, I'd say.
And when do you get to Milwaukee? What are the same question that Leighton? How's it going to all play out here?
Well, hopefully I get in some good programs early. Marquette has a bunch of really great stuff, and they do a lot for their students to try and get internships and jobs early. And like I mentioned, the pro organizations around the city it's an easy outlet to try and make connections and stuff. So hopefully be able to get involved early. And yeah, I mean, I moved down August 17th, August 18th. We're going to haul the vans up and do like a 2-day road trip up there, all my stuff, and pack the dorm up. And yeah, just like I said, trying to get involved early.
How important was being a good teammate and you guys' success? And how important is that for young kids that are listening to you guys right now?
I would say like having a good team and being a good teammate is like honestly the most important thing to me when I was doing my sports, because I would always like I love doing sports, but I always stick around because of my friends and just like having that group of people around me to like cheer me up if I'm stressed about a meet or if I did bad, like all that stuff. So just being a good friend and a good teammate to those around you was just super important.
Same question.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the same thing. I mean, the mainly important thing is just building a family with your team. I mean, like I said, I've had 3 different coaches at my high school career. My senior year was the only year I had a head coach 2 straight years, so that was kind of tough to go through those changes a lot. And also never getting cut from a team was also a thing. You know, having to adapt to a new coach every year is a lot on your mental. So getting through those years, honestly, hopefully built me the best I could be now, as hard as it was earlier. But yeah, I mean, just building a family through teammates, and especially being put in a captain position by my coach is also a huge privilege. So, and really grateful that Coach Clark was able to do that for me and be able to lead the team to how I wanted to be led. So yeah.
All right, 2 more questions for both of you, and I want you to both answer both. First of all, and Hayes kind of asked this a little bit, but what advice do you give, not just study habits-wise, which is a great question, but what advice do you give to people that are just getting into high school or that are in high school, whether they want to pursue sports or what? How do you make it worthwhile, and how do you make it work?
Yes, I would just honestly do as much as you can do. Make the most of the time that you have and what your school offers. I just joined like a dance club this year, and it was the best experience of my life. And I kind of wish I had joined earlier. So just when you enter, even if you're like scared to join something, just go out of your comfort zone and do what you think you might enjoy.
Great answer. Same question.
Most definitely. Get out of your comfort zone. Do as much as you can. I did tennis this year. First year doing tennis. It was awesome. I love watching tennis, so I was like, might as well just try and play it. And I made the team. We had a good run in districts as well, so shout out to my tennis teammates. They're awesome as well. Met a lot of new people doing that. So get involved. Don't be scared to get involved. You're going to meet so many new people, and it could, lead you to a connection in the future that you might utilize for your future job. You never know.
All right, final question for both. Ben, I'm going to start with you this time. What do you see in 5 years, 10 years? What do you hope? What do you hope Ben Ward's doing 5, 6, 8 years from now? What's the dream?
The dream is, hopefully motivating, changing the world with a film, maybe coming out with a film. Really want to direct a film. Inspiring story, tell an inspiring story. Something I've been wanting to do for a while. Also, being in a position like you guys are right here, doing hopefully having my own show, own sports talk show, or broadcasting the Super Bowl. Maybe that's the dream event to call. So yeah.
Well, you know what? I think you're well on your way. I believe that. Leighton, same question. Down the road, 5, 6, 8 years. What do you hope Leighton's doing?
Yeah, so I am planning on going to a graduate school, so I'll be in school for the next little bit. But after that, I'm hoping to be working in a lab, especially with the biomedical engineering, working on some health stuff or anything that can really help people and make a good change in the world.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys are both very impressive. Congratulations again. It's our honor to be part of this with Ms. Talley and the DC PS people, but congratulations on this. You've done a great job. Good luck at Florida.
Thanks.
I went there. It's great.
Yay,
okay.
go Gators.
Good luck at Marquette. I didn't go there, but I know it's great.
I appreciate it.
But you guys have done great.
Thank you so
You've
much.
You've earned this. So congratulations.
Thank you so much,
guys.
All right,
Really
Leighton Yates and Ben Ward, our Duval County Scholar Athletes of the Year. More in a moment on 1010XL after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Intercepted. It's Rasheed Mathis to win it for Jacksonville.
This is the home of your team, 1010XL.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie. If you have a sweet tooth like me, the sweetest desserts in town come from Spoonful Bakery. Spoonful is an online bakery. They deliver boxes of assorted desserts right to your home or office. They're so good, and they make for great gifts for friends or clients. And if you want custom orders, wedding cakes or birthday cakes, or catered desserts for an event, they are the best. Log on to spoonful-bakery.com or call them at 904-515-4984. That's Spoonful Bakery for the sweetest desserts in town.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beard's has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beard's now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beard's can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol, Beard's Diamonds, at St. John's Town Center.
Jeff Prosser here for Lloyd's Heating and Air. Need a leader for commercial, retail, multifamily, or hospitality projects? Or top-tier residential service? No gimmicks, no mascots, just real expertise and hard work. As your trusted statewide mechanical partner and local family-owned team, Lloyd's is the name Northeast Florida counts on. Visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
Mike Dempsey here. Look, it's been 10 years that I've been vouching for my guys at Dandy Boots, and for a decade, I'm proud of my association with a local family business. They make a great product. I've made no secret that I was a customer long before Dandy ever came on board on 1010XL. But I'm thinking I'm due a little Dandy swag, maybe a little love. How about a Dandy t-shirt, a ball cap? So how about it, Thompson family? What do you got going on over there? In the meantime, I'm going to keep eating those delicious tuna salad sandwiches. So guys, keep helping me out and grab a Dandy sandwich today.
Hey, Hickett here for my friends at Zero Res. Gang, vacuuming is not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and lifespan of your carpet, period. Do not leave deep cleaning to yourself, but do-it-yourself dirt-attracting carpet soaking machines. No. Call on the cleaning freaks from Zero Res. Big summer savings. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129. Take 20% off air duct cleaning as well. Call them, 904-287-5727, and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Fathers are a gift, and 1010XL has some great gift options from Kuhn Flowers, Beaches Dermatology, and the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Gift ideas for Father's Day are a click away at 1010XL.com.
Frank Frangie here. I've known the Parman family for years, and what stands out is how they run Big Chief Tire. It's not just about tires, it's about showing up, doing the work, and taking care of people. That's the culture they've built over 4 generations. When you walk into Big Chief, you're treated with honesty, respect, and real hometown service. That's how Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling. Schedule your next appointment at WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Nice job there with the music. I'm sure Leighton appreciates that. There's no doubt about that. Congratulations to Leighton and Ben one more time. 2 really sharp high school graduates that are going to be very productive in this world. I can tell you that. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
It was a wonderful group this year. Yeah. It always is obviously very, very high quality, but this year in particular. And so Leighton and Ben should really feel wonderful and take a lot of pride in this achievement because they were the best of a stellar cast.
Yeah, that's well said, and that's exactly correct. And I do want to tip my cap to my friend Timmy Talley. Tammy is the athletic director for the Duval County Public Schools. This is a big deal to her. She and Steve Griffin, our general manager, got together when we first launched this radio station and said, we want to be involved. Steve wanted to be involved in the high school landscape, and we have been ever since. Tammy wanted 1010 involved because she wanted to be able to reward students that really deserve that. And Tammy's about as good as it gets. I mean, she's just so you know, in addition to working on all this, Tammy's on our Walkoff Charities board, just as luck would have it. And she was out here grinding all day today. In fact, God bless her soul, she was stuck with driving me around so I could meet all the foursomes. I'm sure she's thinking, I don't have anything better to do than drag his big butt around. Okay, but she wound up, that was her job today, her and her friend May Scoglin. So Tammy's the best. Tammy, and I know these students really appreciate your commitment to them and your commitment to education. I mean that very sincerely. So what an honor it is to be part of the Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week and, of course, the Athlete of the Year program. So we certainly enjoyed that very, very much. Let's talk some Jaguars. 3 more days. What are you going to watch? I know that's a vast thing and a big answer and a lot of stuff. But off the top of your head, let's scatter across. Let's go. What jumps off the page right now?
I mean, you have to start with Travis Hunter just because we haven't seen him play defense yet. So I have to think of one of these 3 days. Travis Hunter is going to be on the defensive side of the ball. I would imagine it's offense tomorrow, defense Wednesday, offense Thursday. But it's got to start there. I mean, you can't underplay what he might be for this organization. And so, I think Travis Hunter has to lead the list. Now, that's obviously, that's not saying anything earth-shattering. Everybody, their first eye is going to go to Travis Hunter. So I think, beyond that, I think you look at the offensive line, because I think how it looks is probably how they're committed to starting training camp with how it looks. You don't normally experiment in the mandatory mini camp, mainly because you don't know. They had great volunteer participation, but as a staff, you never really know who's going to be there and who isn't, because it's up to the players to choose to go. So mandatory mini camp is usually a little bit more structured. You're usually trying to get a little bit more out of that. So I think, obviously, we've got to be careful about what we talk about. But I think from a lineup standpoint, I'm curious to see what the offensive line looks like. I'm curious to see what the secondary looks like. I think the corner spot opposite Tyson Campbell is very interesting, and the safety spot opposite Eric Murray, I think, is very interesting.
I think in terms of competition, without question, and again, you're not going to tell a lot tomorrow when they're not in pads. You'll tell more when they finally are in pads and finally hitting in July and late July. But I think the offensive line is the most interesting position with regard to, I really don't know who the starters are going to be. If you asked me to bet my money, I would bet Hainsey's the center and McCarry's the right guard. After that, I might defer on the bets. You know, I mean, yes, Walker Little and Anton Harrison are the incumbent tackles, and they're good players, and they've earned that. This isn't to dismiss them. Ezra Cleveland's a good left guard. He's earned that too. But I do believe the plan was everybody, all five have got to earn their spot, Hayes. So that's the position. So I'm going to watch it tomorrow. I'm going to watch how they line up. I'm going to watch how they rotate. That's not for us to report, but I am going to watch it. And just so I'll know in my mind, at least maybe what they're thinking, what the plan is. But I think and I'm going to get to some other positions in a moment, but of all the positions where we're talking about how much real competition is in play, that one trumps all of them, for me. Because, look, everybody always says there's competition, but we always know that's not true. Even now, there's no competition at quarterback. There's no competition at your two defensive ends. There's no competition at middle linebacker. And there's no competition at least one wide receiver and one cornerback spot. Nor should there be. Those guys have earned those spots. But again, along that offensive line, I think that more than, and I'm going to get to some other spots, but that more than any is where I think there's real and important competition.
Yeah, I think so too, because again, the players are all going to break, and they're going to go away for 5 weeks. The rookies get a little less, but the veterans are going to be gone for 5-6 weeks, and come Thursday, assuming they do all 3 days, Thursday will feel like the last day of school for these players. I mean, that's going to be the vibe, from the players as they walk off the field is, summer break is here. Well, for the coaches, there isn't. I mean, they'll take some time, but, Liam Cohen and his staff are going to be working 95% of the next 6 weeks. They want to see those lineups. They want to have 3 days of film so that they can pour over that before they get into training camp. You don't want to get surprised 4 days into training camp because something that you thought as a head coach is not what is actually materializing. So I think the mandatory minicamp is really important to hone in on the guys that you believe right now. This is my first line. These are the backups. This is the third team. And have that 5-6 week period to really pour over the, if it's 15 periods each day, that's 45 periods. That's a lot of film. That's a lot of data to go through, for these coaches before they come back to training camp where there are no breaks. It's all systems go at that point. I mean, you're 6 weeks from the opener.
So other positions that will have my attention, I mean, they all will. Running back's intriguing. Even with Keelan Robinson now gone, there's 4 running backs on this team that this team drafted. Tank Bigsby and Etienne are the two sort of incumbents together. But they drafted 2 running backs, Bashul Tootin among them, LaQuint Allen the other, that they like. Do all 4 make the team? Is Allen the third down back because he caught so many passes as a collegian? Is Etienne the third down back because that's kind of he runs outside? Do they run jet sweeps with him and inside with Bigsby? Where does Tootin fit into that mix? Very intrigued by that. That one's first for me. I think I know what they're going to do at wide receiver. If I was going to bet some money, I would bet that De'Ami Brown and Brian Thomas Jr. are outside and Travis Hunter's in the slot, and then they'll move them all around. But I would bet that's how they go to war, and that Parker Washington's the 4th guy. So I watch that, but I'm not as intrigued with how it might wind up. I'm intrigued with linebacker. I think Foye Oluwakun's the middle linebacker. But do they move Devin Lloyd to Sam? If they do, is it a Ventrell Miller, Jack Kaiser fight for Will? I'm excited about that. To your point, the opposite corner, opposite Tyson Campbell. Lauren asked me that today when I was on with Helmets and Heels. I think if they played today, there's no doubt in my mind Tyson Campbell's one corner. There's no doubt in my mind Jordan Lewis is the nickel, by the way. I think they brought him in to be the nickel, no question asked. So is it Jarian Jones? Is it Monteric Brown? Do they do something different at that other spot? And finally, at safety, they want Ramsaw to win that job, I think. And I say that. I don't know what they want.
No, I would agree.
But I would think if you drafted him as high as you did, you hope he has a chance to win that job opposite Eric Murray. But Dewey is certainly a guy that's played a lot of football here. Darnell Savage is a guy they went and got. So that's where the intrigue is for me. linebacker opposite Foye, one cornerback spot opposite Tyson Campbell, one safety spot opposite Eric Murray, and how that running back thing plays out. We're not going to get those answers this week, by the way, but we might get some evidence and some intel that helps us get those answers in July.
Yeah, I think those are all great points. Another thing that we need to start seeing, and it may not occur this week, but this week is a fine. If he wanted to start this week, it's warranted. It's Trevor Lawrence. That fire on the field. We know he's not a big fiery guy, but at some point, and hopefully they'll practice clean and the operation will be clean and they'll have 3 really crisp days on the offensive side of the ball. But that's going to be tough. The defense has been working against them for weeks. They know what the offense is doing, and there's probably going to be some periods where the offense sputters, like pretty much any NFL outpost would have this time of year. But it's time to start seeing Trevor Lawrence spike a helmet or raise his voice. This needs to start being player-driven. If they are ever going to elevate into being one of the best teams in the NFL, the players on this team have to be the ones that take the reins from the coaches. And it's got to start at the quarterback position. So, I mean, again, I don't know that it's within him, because he's such a cool kind of person demeanor-wise. But I'd be all for if they're not getting in and out of the huddle as fast as they should be. It's one thing I don't expect if Brian Thomas Jr. or a young kid drops a pass for Trevor Lawrence to lose his mind, unless it's like the 4th time it's happened. But the second that there is an overall sense of a sloppy offensive practice, it's time for Trevor Lawrence to be the bad guy.
I'll say this about that. I don't know that he's ever going to be a guy that does that very visibly. I don't know, in my opinion, that he's ever slamming a helmet. I don't know about ever, but I don't know that he's ever going to be slammed the helmet guy. But to your point, I think the longer you play, the more you can, even if you do it quietly, I do expect that there'll be times when he's going to get, come on, man. You got to make that play. I think more of that. Number one, I think it happens when you get older anyway. I think it happens when you not that Trevor Lawrence, the first pick of the draft, the guy that you knew was going to be the first pick in the draft when he was probably 12, didn't already have credibility for those reasons. But it's a different credibility you earn up here. And I think he's slowly but surely earned the right to do that. I go back to a story. Peyton Manning tells a great story. Peyton Manning, when he got to Tennessee, and it's one of my favorite Peyton Manning stories, he was the superstar, man. He was a superstar Cardinal Newman High School in New Orleans. He was the number 1 recruit overall. You knew he was one day, everyone assumed he was one day going to be an NFL Hall of Fame quarterback and a Super Bowl winner and a megastar, and he's been all that. He gets to Tennessee. Todd Helton is the quarterback, and who went on to be a very good baseball player, but he's the starting quarterback. Peyton's the backup. And so Helton's quarterbacking the team, but they knew they had to go to Peyton event. Peyton was their guy. I mean, he was the better. So Peyton gets in there and he tells a great story. And they all these offensive linemen, including Jason Lehman, do you remember him, who was a senior tackle? And Peyton gets in there and he wants to be the leader. He wants to do what coaches have told him to do. What his quarterback coach David Cutcliffe and head coach Phil Fulmer told him to do is you got to be lead. You got to get these guys' attention. They got to follow you. So he gets in there and he goes, "Okay, guys, we're going right down the field. Here's what we're going to do. I don't care about that defense. We're going to move the ball on them. We're going to pass it. We're going to run it. This is what we're going to do. I don't care what's happened up until now." And he said, about 20 seconds into that, Jason Lehman said, "Shut up, blanking rookie, and call the play." And he called the play. You had to earn that. Now, 3 years later, Peyton Manning could say all that, and everybody was shutting up. But you got to hear Peyton. I don't know if you ever heard Peyton tell that story. It's hilarious. You got to hear Peyton tell the story. He said, "Shut up and call the play. Shut up, freshman, and call the play." And so I think you earned that. I don't think Trevor Lawrence ever had a shut up rookie and call the play moment. But I think the longer you're around, that you become that. But I agree with you, though. I think the best teams are when it's time to get fiery. Patrick Mahomes gets fired. He's not a helmet thrower either, but you see the look in his eye, don't you? That's what you're saying. I
think he does throw helmets. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if you asked a Chiefs beat writer, have you ever seen Patrick Mahomes get heated on a practice field? And he has.
Right.
And it's time for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's a $250 million quarterback, and it is something that's missing in his game. He doesn't have to be a maniac, but this whole, the cool demeanor, it is largely beneficial. But there is an element to this game where at some points it's got to be the quarterback that gets everybody together, galvanizes everybody, and says, this is unacceptable. It may not happen this week. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully they have 3 really good days on offense. They feel great about things. They go into the break. At some point, whether it's this week, training camp, week 3, week 7, they're going to hit a wall offensively. And it can't be Liam Cohen and Grant Udisky that are the ones that are trying to bail them out of that. It's got to be the franchise quarterback that you have invested $250 million into, and it is time for Trevor Lawrence. Yes, he's still a young man. He's 25, but he's been in this league long enough now. He's got plenty of scar tissue from being a Jaguar. It is time for him to say enough is enough. This isn't what I want for my career. This isn't what I want for your career. We want to win here. We want to leave a legacy, and that's got to start with the minute details on the practice field.
The leader of the defense, I think, will evolve into Foye Oluokun. I think that's what he was. I think last year was a really odd year for him. He had been a middle linebacker, a Mike linebacker, who pretty much led the National Football League in tackles on a regular basis. 2 years in a row, and then, top 3 the other year. Led the NFL in tackles as a middle linebacker. That's hard to do. There's a lot of people in the NFL tackling people. There's 11 on about every play that are trying to tackle somebody in every game. And he led the National Football League in tackling people. And Ryan Nielsen, and he's gone now. I'm not trying to dismiss him. He did the best he said, let's move his position. Let's move Devin Lloyd to that middle linebacker spot because Devin doesn't run as well in space. And it never worked. Foye was never happy. There was never a connection between the two. I can tell you that. And now that Foye Oluokun, I can tell you, is the middle linebacker, by the way, in case you're wondering. I can't tell you where a lot of people are going to line up, nor will I, because when we go out there and watch them, we're not supposed to, and I'm not going to violate that. But I'll tell you, I think Foye Oluokun is going to be the middle linebacker, not because of anything I've seen in an OTA, but because I think he's going to be the dang middle linebacker, and I think he'll be the leader on defense. But I agree with your big point, is whether it happens this week or not, I'm not sure it happens this week. But I think leadership on the field matters. And I think when you have guys that have been around long enough and are veteran enough to do that, I think you will see that. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be 3 fun days. I'm looking forward to watching 3 fun days. I love that the fans are out on Wednesday. The Jags are going to do a really cool thing, by the way. J.P. Shadrick and Jeff Lageman are going to have the microphones and kind of explain to the fans what's going on. Isn't that cool? They're going to kind of explain what the drills are. They're going to kind of – so if you're one of the fans, and I hope you're going on Wednesday, I hope that place is packed, that you're going to have JP and Jeff. JP say, Jeff, what was that drill? And Jeff, who knows football so well and is so good at that stuff, is going to tell you what that drill was.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool stuff.
It'll be a lot of fun, and they're going to have some great guests as well. So, it should be a fantastic time out there Wednesday.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward. So the Jaguars, 3 more days, and then everybody gets to take a little vacation. They'll all break. They'll stay in shape. They have to stay in shape. They've already done a good job of that. But they'll stay in shape, and then they'll get away from it for a while. So 3 more days. Jaguars on the field tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Then they all get away for a while. Travis Hunter, man, he may just stay. He may just stay and keep working out. Of all the stories about him, I think my favorite story, I think you might have told me. You might have told me that you had heard this. So correct me if you weren't the one. But he came here after being drafted to do his presser. Okay, shows up and the next day, then does his presser. And by then, because of league rules, they can't work him out because it's whatever. He didn't want to leave. He said, I want to go work out.
He wanted to practice. It's
a true story, right?
Yeah.
He wanted to practice. He wanted to leave. They said, you can't practice.
Yeah.
He said, well, why can't I practice? I can practice.
We have a CBA.
Yeah, he said, he wanted to throw with Trevor.
Yeah.
He wanted them to call Trevor and so let's go throw. And, well, we can't do that, Travis, because Trevor's not here because we can't make Trevor – well, let's call him. I mean, I'm not making that up. You told me that, and then I kind of got it confirmed by about 2 or 3 other people. He wanted to stay in practice with Trevor Lawrence an hour after he did his presser, 1 day after he was drafted. I mean, that's a really cool story.
It is. He's got such an unbelievable mindset. I loved on this episode of The Hunt where it's that same day Gladstone is talking with Travis – with Liam and Tony in that office at the Miller Electric Performance Center. And, they're kind of going through the plan and everything. And Travis just says, All I need is football and water, and I'm good to go.
Isn't that
That's
great?
all I need.
Football and
water,
All
and I'll
right.
be good. So I think he's going to be very refreshing, and I think his skill is going to be extraordinary. I think if you're a Jaguars fan, I'm really excited for young Jaguars fans, but also excited for Jaguar fans that have seen a lot of lean years, because I don't know about team success. You hope that comes. But I think they're getting ready to see one of the best individual success stories that the NFL has produced in the last 50 years.
We'll take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about this house settlement and at long last, the complete changing face of college athletics. That's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
School's out for summer. More time for 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harrell and Harrell. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harrell and Harrell. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell and Harrell at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
Plumbing problems? AC not blowing? Septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. Waddle over to duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the duck.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. You're on-road, you're off-road, now you're on the water. Greg, tell everybody what Coach and Honda is offering in the form of boats.
We've got the Honda boat, which is a great runabout fisherman. We've got the Coach boats. They're fantastic for getting out with a family. Nice lay-down beds, all with that legendary Honda motor on.
Check them all out. They're waiting for you. You can see how you can be on the water with Honda or with Coach pontoon boats. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it. And send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Join Into the Night with Rick Ballou at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo for the Stanley Cup Final. $1 wings, $3 drafts, and much more. 6 to 8 at Front Runners Tap House.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Grow your hair back. IHRS offers the latest technology in hair transplants and restorative treatments.
Fast, easy, and effective.
With over 35 years experience, our team is committed to delivering exceptional results. Hair restoration is for us, and it can be for you too.
See how IHRS technology can grow your hair back. Go to hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS, 777-4477 for $250 off.
Hey, Tinsley, why don't we use EasyCater to order food for staff lunches?
Because my 46-page acronym system is so easy. I just have to salad, stay alert to late arriving deliveries, pie, put in expenses, and Google Pie. Go out and get everyone's preferences and allergy information.
That's supposed to be simple?
No, simple is Stephen, Irma, and Margie prefer lasagna and empanadas.
OMG.
No need to make work life more complicated. Just use EasyCater, the easy way to get food for work.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. The series is all notched up as it makes its way back to the Sunshine State for Game 3 of this spectacular Stanley Cup final. Games 1 and 2 have lived up to the hype as both contests went to overtime. One of the most noticeable aspects of the series is the speed of the games and the pace both teams play at, where Panthers head coach Paul Maurice chimed in.
It's been fast. Like from the bench, the speed seems to be really good. You know, the first period in game 2, there's lots of action at both ends of the ice, but neither team is casual with their defense at all. Both teams have, I think, really strong defensive schemes. It's just a testament to the quality of the talent level, the depth of the talent level.
Game 3 will begin tonight at 8 o'clock on TNT. It's 90 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We do thank our friends for the Best Bet. 3 locations on the First Coast. That location in St. Augustine, man, all kind of good things going on there all the time. Best Bet Jacksonville's on Monument Road. Of course, Best Bet Orange Park right there on 17. You want to have a lot of fun. Go in there. It's a clean, healthy place. It's a family place. You'll love it. Nice people. They do it right. They run it the right way. It's a great experience. Head to one of those 3 outstanding Best Bet locations if you get an opportunity to. Do want to remind you, we got 1 hour left now on our Walkoff Charities auction. WalkoffCharities.com. You'll help a little kid play baseball. There's really some cool items on there. So jump in there and jump in the game if you want to. If you're a collector, if you're a fan of a team, there's all kind of good stuff. So the House settlement is official now. It is now Judge Claudia Wilkin in California has allowed it. There might still be some legal challenges, but here's kind of where this thing landed. Right now, schools can pay players themselves, period. Whether you put them on payroll or whether they're 1099 or whatever, they can pay players, can spend up to $20.5 million is what they can do. That is not NIL money. That is money that comes from the school. NIL money is still available, but they have created a college sports commission. That's what it's called. And they've hired this guy, Brian Seeley, a former executive, obviously a lawyer, an executive with Major League Baseball, to manage it for the purpose of enforcement and making sure the NIL money is NIL money. NIL money was never supposed to be pay for play. It was supposed to be name, image, and likeness. You're paid for what you're worth. And now, I think based on anything that starts at $600, that the clearinghouse has to approve it. So DJ Lagway can't get $5 million to say go to Beef O'Brady's. That's not fair value, and it will get flagged. And if you do that, they haven't decided on the punishment, but there's a possibility of ineligibility for players or suspensions. So the day of someone giving DJ Lagware the $5 million to play football, that day's over. It can't happen. The school can use $5 million if it's 25.5 or 20.5 million and pay them out of the school. So that's the case. They don't know if the College Sports Commission will hold up in court, if it will trump state laws, but all the commissioners have leaned in on this. So every school now, from its own funds, not NIL funds, can spend $20.5 million. The general belief, Hayes, and we talked about this well before they got to this point, was that was the number in NIL, and the general belief was 12 to 13 million will be spent on football, 4 to 5 million or 5 to 6 million will be spent on men's basketball, and the other 2 million will go to everything else. That's the general perception, is football, men's basketball. I saw one reading where it says women's basketball also will get more than the rest too, but I haven't found enough people that said that. Mostly it's football gets 12 to 13, men's basketball gets 5 to 6, and let's say for the sake of this conversation it's 12 and 6. Then there's $2.5 million left for every other sport there. Now, that doesn't mean you can't enhance those sports with NIL dollars, but you can't just give whatever you want. It's got to go through a clearinghouse. And again, if Joe Baseball Player is a spokesperson for the local pizza place and the clearinghouse decides that's worth $10,000 a year, you can't give him $2 million. And that's where this thing, at least as of today, where it is. Where do you think, how it will land? How will it land? Will they be able to fight off the legalities of it? And what do you think of where it landed to this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good attempt to create some stability, but I don't think it's going to last very long. I think it is going to be fleeting, because what you see is lawyers already saying, well, it opens itself up to Title IX, it opens itself up to this or that, and so I think it's going to be defeated pretty quick and create another round of instability. So, I mean, hopefully it holds. I also don't think that this is the other thing I would say, and they need to, who cares about the enforcement? If some person wants to give a kid $3 million to say, hey, eat at my restaurant, and the kid never walks in the restaurant, I don't know why anyone cares about that. I mean, but so I think that's also going to be incredibly difficult to enforce. I think you're just going to see under the table payments to supplement it that'll never go through any sort of clearinghouse. It'll never be on the books. Just like when you used to give cash handshakes before the world of NIL, that was never reported. That was just something that a booster did, behind the scenes. So I think you'll see that. I think you could see the money given to organizations that are close to the athlete's heart, whether that's, a church, whether that's a relative, something like that. So I think there'll be ways around the enforcement, which is why I don't even think they should bother trying to enforce it. If these schools want to pay $90 million for their football team, let them do it. So I hope that I am wrong. I hope it provides stability, but my guess is it will not, and my guess is a year from now, this settlement has been legally blown to smithereens.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'll say this. At least now there is a foundation. Even if the foundation doesn't stand up legally, at least for today, there's a legitimate foundation of what the rules are. Again, maybe the rules will get sued right out of the framework, to your point, but at least there is that. Another element of this, and you've kind of pointed this out all along, if Big East schools can find the $20.5 million, if they can raise the $20.5 million,
which they all will,
you would think, right? Certainly the significant ones. If St. John's and Butler or whoever can, then they are, and they don't have football. You were ahead of the game on this. You said this before I heard anybody else say it, because you're talking about St. John's, but it really qualifies for Marquette or whoever else, right?
Villanova,
yeah,
Georgetown,
all of them. If they can raise that kind of money, they can pay, and they put of that money. Forget the NIL add-on, because the NIL add-on, according to this rule, is now going to have to go through a clearinghouse. If they can put 13, 14 million into basketball, nobody else can do that. There's no way Alabama or Florida LSU can do it, because they're going to be competitive in football, because football pays the bills. So, Hayes, you said this on our program. If it all goes through like this, then all of a sudden the Big East in basketball, and I read somebody wrote a column just about that if this all holds, to your point, it may not hold, but if this all holds, look out for those Big East basketball teams.
It really will be like the 1980s, where the Big East was about as compelling, and that was when the NBA was unbelievable.
Correct.
So it was just an unbelievable decade for basketball in general at the professional and collegiate level in the 1980s. But Big East basketball was about as big as anything you'd find in college sports.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. It's hard because there were so many really good programs. You could probably run off 7 or 8, 9 of them that were all, off the top of our heads. Georgetown, St. John's, Villanova, UConn, Providence, Syracuse. That's 6 off the top of my head.
Seton Hall. That's 7 that were national championship good. Almost like this year's SEC. You know, it was 7 or 8. So, and that's what this will be. So if this does hold, then the Big East will become dominant in basketball to a level that the SEC, the ACC, schools that care about football, they won't have any chance of keeping up unless their NIL is so rich.
But it can't be. But again, like you said, just make it suit. But it can't be because
I guess you could find 200 people to give an athlete $600.
Well, I guess you're right. That's correct. But the way I understand this, okay, if to your point, I think you're onto something here. Florida and St. John's want a player, Walter Clayton Jr. Okay, St. John's, because they've got $14 million they're putting into their NIL for basketball, offers them $6 million. Florida's entire basketball NIL is $6 million, so they can't do it. I'm sorry, not NIL. Their percentage of the money. Their cap. Okay, we say, okay, well, let's make up the money with NIL. Well, according to this, Joe Booster can't give Walter Clayton the other $4 million unless the clearinghouse approves that him being a spokesperson. Well, there's nobody he could be a spokesperson for that company can turn into $4 million. So there's no, and if this holds, that clearinghouse will never approve Florida being able to give Walter Clayton Jr. the kind of money that St. John's gave him. That's where we are.
Yeah, and so it will certainly be a big advantage for the Big East. It's going to be really interesting to see. Like, this has created a new environment and collegiate landscape to where if you have been dominant, your reign could be getting ready to fall apart. If you haven't been dominant, your reign could be coming, because whoever is able to manage this the best, manage their cap dollars, manage, obviously identifying, being able to survive in an element of parity that we just haven't seen in like big time football. Big time football hasn't had there's no parity in college football. The best schools have gotten the best players, more for tradition, NFL branding, things like that. Now obviously everybody's got the same amount of money roughly to work with. So Vanderbilt can go pay a linebacker $3 million that would have never gone to Vanderbilt over Alabama. But at Alabama, they may only be able to offer $1.2 million because that player isn't as meaningful to them as it is to Vanderbilt. Well, before that, if Alabama had a 5-star linebacker in their class, they could easily get a 4-star linebacker in their class. Vanderbilt would end up with a 2-star linebacker.
Let me ask you this: 20.5. What does Duke do?
For Duke will do. What
does Kentucky do?
Kentucky will do. It's 20.5.
It's 20.5.
Kentucky will do 20.4 in men's basketball and 100K on everything else. I say Duke is interesting.
What do they do?
I would say Duke probably will be a little less in football, but still competitive. I would say
football pays the bills.
Yeah, I would say maybe Duke, instead of doing 12, maybe does 9 in football and then spends about, it might almost be 50-50.
Yeah.
Hoops and basketball with Duke, and then the $2 million for everything else.
That's the question. I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
But again, football still pays the bills. So even at Duke, make no mistake with this, at Duke and North Carolina and Kentucky, football pays the bills. People don't understand that. Just because their basketball program is enormously good and the football hasn't, the current structure we're in now, all these TV deals are based on football ratings. They are. With all apologies to the basketball people out there, that's where they are. So it'll be interesting to see.
And I still think if the other unwritten story in this is which fan bases gather around their collectives. I mean, because I do, like, to me, the NIL is still going to be very important. It might even be more important because of what you're talking about. Now you've got to really justify payments and things like that. And if you can make a number of $600 payments, like Florida Victorious, for example, if Florida Victorious has 25,000 members, Gators fans that are giving at least, I think the minimum you can give is like $25 a month, and then obviously it can go beyond that. But if you've got an army of people of fans that are willing to give and invest in it, then it's going to be a massive advantage.
Well, here's my question, and maybe I don't understand it right, but what if you have so many thousands of people donating $200 that Walter Clayton Jr. can get 6,000 or 3,000? Can't the clearinghouse go back and say no? That's pay for play. He doesn't have enough NIL value to collect that kind of money. Am I understanding it wrong?
I don't see how they're going to be able to determine that.
But they're going to try, unless I understand it wrong. And to your point at the top of this topic, maybe that's what gets challenged legally and loses. But if I understood it right, it's if the clearinghouse says Walter Clayton Jr.'s value to represent a pizza restaurant is $300,000. No matter how many people participate, he can't collect $3 million. And I may understand it wrong.
This is where I would be with it, and I could be wrong on this. But let's say, so $600, they're not even going to look at.
Yeah.
If you're $600 a payment, they don't care.
Even if it's named, well, that's right.
They don't care. They're not going to look into it. So you know that anything to $600 is not going to be flagged. Well, if I have 10,000 people in my collective, and I can have I can say, look, these 10,000 people are part of Florida Victorious, and they're each giving $600 to this athlete.
Yeah.
10,000 times 600 is $6 million.
But what I wonder is, and I don't know this, I understood that the clearinghouse could flag that for saying Walter or whoever you talk about, the player's NIL value is not $6 million, therefore he can't get it. I may be wrong now. I'm trying to understand this new, but if that's what and I may be dead wrong. You may be right. Long as many people can pay $600 as you want because they're not flagging that. But my understanding was the clearinghouse is not going to allow him to make this player to make more than that if they don't think his NIL value is worth more than that. And we'll learn that because now that you and I are having this conversation.
I mean, honestly, we're having this conversation on radio. They're having this conversation in a boardroom somewhere.
Maybe they are.
And with very little clarity as to how it's going to work.
But that's a big question. So we'll try and get to maybe Brett at the end to talk about that. Interesting stuff. But certainly college sports has changed, at least for today, to something it's never been before. Salaries for players. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Mosquito season is upon us, but don't let them take over. The secret to a bite-free yard is starting today with Kingfish Pest Control. Their 3-step mosquito defense process stops them before they can spread. Eliminate breeding areas. Build a protective barrier around your yard and monthly treatments to keep them away all season long. The earlier you start, the fewer mosquitoes you'll have to fight. Don't let those pests ruin your outdoor fun. Call Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
When you want breaking sports news, tune in to 1010XL.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Or any of our social channels at 1010XL.
Satisfied?
Love is in the air. Beards Diamonds. Listen up, couples. Got you a great offer. Hicken here. For a limited time, buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. That's right. When you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000, man. Are you about to get married? Been married for years, thinking it's time for an upgrade? Don't miss the deal of the year on the ultimate symbol of love. Beards has hundreds of bands, top designers, white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands. You get the idea. Nobody has a bigger or better selection of wedding bands than Beards. So get to Beards now. Find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beards can, and it's happening through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol. For a limited time, buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. That's right. When you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Shop local. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Guys, want a golf course fairway quality lawn? TopDressing.com just landed in Jacksonville with the golf course secret for St. Augustine grass homeowners. A patented process that aerates and turns your turf into a fairway stunner. Serious golf course technology, but in your yard. Less water, tighter cuts, total neighborhood domination. No one else scores a perfect 10 lawn. Hit TopDressing.com now. You will own the block. Top dress your yard like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. As temperatures warm up around us, ants come out in droves. And when they move into your home or business, it's unnerving. Terminix knows that ants add up fast, but Terminix subtracts them faster because living with ants isn't any fun. When ants show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with an ant problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Are you experiencing high energy bills? Now is the time to upgrade your old inefficient windows and doors. Don't miss Renewal by Andersen's 30th anniversary sale. For a limited time, buy one, get 130% off all windows and patio doors. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com now to take advantage of this incredible offer. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. Pool decks, driveways, garages, patios, we coat them all to make your neighbors jealous.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Anthony. Have you been charged with a crime? You don't have to face it alone. I'm here for you. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me. 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW in the 904.
Frank Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue since 1949. Now, to thank all their loyal customers, Bono's is bringing back their Club 49 card. You can get a $500 gift card for only $350. That's a savings of $150. You can purchase your Club 49 card at any of the Bono's locations around town. And you'll want to get to Bono's soon to get the spring wing deal. You get 6 wings and a side for just $11.99. Head to Bono's, and remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
And welcome back to another episode of Potty Talk with our current champion. So what's your secret to your perfect plumbing proficiency?
It's simple, really. Roland Reach Plumbing is always the right answer.
Roland Reach Plumbing, 260-7059.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
We certainly appreciate our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we are out here at the Walkoff Charities Golf Tournament at Deer Creek. It's been a fantastic day. Give us a recap, and also 40 minutes left. That auction going on, a lot of great items there. It's not too late to get in there and get yourself some great sports memorabilia.
No, that's right. Hayes, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. It was a great day today. It was our 4th annual Dailies Walkoff Charities Golf Tournament. Look, everybody's got golf tournaments. They're everywhere, so it's hard. People get asked to play in a lot of them. But we sold this one out. The golfers had a big time. We raised a bunch of money for little kids playing baseball. The people at Deer Creek were so good. I really appreciate my friends at Dailies for making this happen. They were absolutely wonderful. They're so good to us. But other sponsors, the Jaguars are so good to us. The Jaguars Foundation. The players are so good to us. The Players Foundation. Baker Sports and Southern Rec. The Jim Furyk Foundation. So many groups. JU, Bonos. Our friends from Nimnik with their car out here. But a lot of people, it was a fun day, Hayes. And again, we had 77 teams this year. And that's exciting stuff, and we're very excited about that. Yes, the auction's still there. Look, there's some really good items, man. Club seats to the Jags, club seats to Florida, Georgia. Trevor Lawrence jersey, I was shocked. I don't think it's got a bid yet.
Wow.
And we have so much stuff in there. An authentic Trevor Lawrence autographed jersey. The kind you play in, not some replica. And so most of the items have bid on. Someone go get Trevor. Trevor deserves that, man. Brian Thomas autographed football, and I could go on and on. Mike Tyson boxing gloves, and on and on and on. It's amazing, this stuff. Ted Williams autographed
a lot of great baseball stuff.
A lot of baseball stuff. So, but experiences like 2-night stay, I think, at One Ocean, 2-night stay at Lake Lure, which is a fantastic cabin in the Carolinas. It's just incredible stuff. A suite at the Jumbo Shrimp game. So, again, I've talked about it a lot. I promise I'll stop after today. But the auction closes at 6 o'clock, and it's a real opportunity to help little kids play baseball. Thanks for bringing it up.
Absolutely, and that's the most important thing. In terms of, you mentioned the Jaguars, mandatory minicamp starts tomorrow. What are you looking forward to seeing?
I want to watch Trevor Lawrence and those 3 receivers. That's going to be the most fun part. That's not intrigue about who's going to play what position, because I got a pretty good idea how that's going to be. But I want to see them all line up. I can't wait to see some 11-on-11s. I would think that. Yeah, the intrigue will play itself out more when they're hitting, Hayes. Who wins the running back spots? Who wins the starting spot on the offensive front? Who starts opposite Tyson Campbell and opposite Eric Murray in the secondaries at corner and safety, respectively? I think you got to hit before that stuff plays out. It's just going to be fun to watch them all out there, and a lot of pitching and catching in the next 3 days.
The Jaguars wasted no time getting this week off to a newsworthy start as they get a contract extension done with punter Logan Cook. 4 years, $16 million, according to reports. Logan Cook, one of the best in the NFL.
One of the best 2 or 3 punters in the league, one of the best holders in the league, a great teammate. Look, there's a lot of things the Jaguars haven't gotten right. They got that special teams part right now. The snapper, the holder, the kicker, the punter. They're pretty good there, so good for them for making sure Logan Cook's here for the long haul.
Let's get to around the NFL. Running back Nick Chubb expected to sign with Houston to back up Joe Mixon. The 29-year-old Chubb rushed for 332 yards last season in 8 games with Cleveland as he returned from a devastating knee injury in 2023. Chubb has been a fantastic player. Is there anything left that the Jaguars should worry about with him being a Texan?
You know, I don't like him playing again in the division in the event that there is, Hayes. There's no way for you and I to sit here and know how he'll bounce back from that injury. It's not possible to know. It's not possible. I think there was some reluctance to sign him for that reason. I got kind of mixed feelings. Nick Chubb's a good person. He's a wonderful running back that didn't deserve the injuries he got. And gosh, you hope he bounces back from that. You really, really do. He's a Georgia player, so we saw him a lot around here. So I hope he bounces back, and I hope he's completely healthy, because that's what I always root for. That's what I always wish for all football players.
The Packers.
But hang on. But I hope he doesn't go off against the Jaguars. That was the other part of that.
I don't think you have to worry about that, but we'll see. The Packers released cornerback Jair Alexander, the two-time All-Pro, has missed 34 of Green Bay's last 68 games. So we'll see. I'm sure he'll have a market. Would you have any interest if you're the Jaguars?
Mia asked me that when I was on with Helmets and Heels today. I think you have to be careful. Age, cost, injuries. Look, the could Jair Alexander help him? Sure. Trey Hendrickson could have helped him too, but not at $25 million a year. That would have kept them from doing some other things. They need depth, they need numbers, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case here. So I'd be a little bit surprised given the fact that one guy making as much as he's going to make, particularly a guy that's been injured, could eat up an awful lot of money that you need as you continue to build the depth of your roster.
Let's get it to the governance of college sports. The House settlement is approved by the judge. That happened late Friday afternoon. Let the next wave of chaos begin, or do we finally have a foundation for where this sport, all these sports, are headed for the next 10 years or longer?
Both. The answer to your question is both. We have a foundation. How long it sticks, how many legal challenges there are. Look, there's going to be things they got wrong. They're going to say, well, we should have done this, should have done that. We waited forever for a 12-team playoff, Hayes. The minute we had it, we realized it should have been 16. We realized right out of the gate we got that wrong. So there's going to be things here that they get wrong, but it's a great starting point. At least finally there's some rules. The biggest problem is there's been no rules, and finally there are some rules. Yeah, there'll be legal challenges. There'll be more chaos, but it's a good start.
Let's get to the NBA. Oklahoma City even the NBA Finals at a game apiece with a comfortable 123-107 win at home Sunday night. MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander continued his torrid play, scoring 34 points.
It's amazing what a good player he is. It's really amazing what a good player Gilgeous-Alexander is. He is a dominant player. And honestly, I got to tell you, I didn't realize how good he was. I really did.
Let's get it to Loser Monday as we are now 2 games into the NBA Finals and a clear class structure is forming. Frangie is in the upper class, cruising along with 127 points, led by SGA. I am in second place with 95 points. JJ sputtering early with 70 points, but keep in mind we have a minimum of 3 games still remaining.
Yeah, it is 127, 95, 70 is where we are. I would say, here's what I would tell you. I feel somewhat comfortable that I'm not headed to Bono's. JJ LaSelva, who hails from Northeast Ocala, has got some work to do. JJ, your thoughts, please, on Loser Monday, 2 games in.
I actually feel better than I did before because, like, in the fourth quarter, Halliburton went off for, like, 15 points. Before that, I'm like, it's over. But I think that hopefully this leads to him doing something in the next 2 home games. So I'm praying for, like, a 30-pointer from Halliburton. But if I don't get that, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I would think the battle now is, Hayes, between you and JJ. I think you're well positioned, but I think one of you is headed to Bono's, and JJ needs a big game.
Yeah, I think unless SGA gets deported, you're safe.
I think I'm okay.
So it should be fine. Let's get it to the world of golf. Rory McIlroy misses the cut by 12 at the Canadian Open. Acknowledge this happened after we went off the air Friday. Says he's concerned heading into the U.S. Open. Obviously, we know what a test Oakmont will be. What's your confidence level with Rory McIlroy going into the 3rd major of the season?
The fact that he's lost his confidence level is a concern. That's probably the biggest concern. He will be better than he was this week. Will he regain the form he had in the first third of the year? Hayes, I don't know. There's too many good players out there. I think, round 1 at Oakmont's really critical. If he starts out 2 over, if he shoots 74 on Thursday, I think he's dead in the water. I think Thursday's really critical for him.
Yeah, good point. Ryan Fox ended up winning the Canadian Open in a playoff with Sam Burns. So that is the PGA Tour update as we head to the U.S. Open. Should be a fantastic week of golf. We'll certainly break it down from every angle over the next 4 days. Let's get to Major League Baseball. The Pirates sweep the Phillies. Paul Skeens dominant on Sunday in a 2-1 Pirates win. the 23-year-old gave up 1 unearned run in 7 2/3 innings, allowing 2 hits and a walk while striking out 7. Skeens got a no decision while lowering his ERA to 1.88.
His ERA is 1.88, and he's 4-6.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, that's how pathetic that team is. He's 1.88 in today's Major League Baseball. You can't fathom how good that is, and he's 4-6. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Has the pitcher ever started the All-Star game with a 5-11 record?
Yeah. We're going to find out. The Braves lost their 7th straight game on Sunday, falling 4-3 at the Giants. Atlanta is now 3-14 in its last 17 games and is 10 games under 500 at 27-37. They're a laughingstock.
Yeah, JJ, I was wrong. You were right. JJ said at the very early going that this team you could foresee the problems coming, and this is. Again, you guys said 4 or 5 years ago it was like this. JJ, I don't remember
2017.
Yeah. And I just didn't remember that. I didn't remember the Braves feeling this helpless in a while.
Yeah, 2016 and 17, I think they were in last place or right around last place a couple years. But that's like they were rebuilding. They knew they would be terrible. This is completely different. I expected 90 wins plus. I expected them to compete for the East. And I mean, what do you got to do to get fired around here? Jeez, man. I thought for sure this would have been it like a week ago, but Snicker's still around. It's crazy.
Still there.
It really is amazing. Let's get into college baseball. Florida State gets routed at Oregon State 14-10 in Game 3 of the Super Regionals. The Noles will be haunted by Friday's Game 1 loss, blowing a 3-run lead in the 9th inning. They won Saturday's second game before giving up 7 runs in the first inning of the deciding game that sort of set the tone for the afternoon.
The dagger was the Friday night 9th inning because it's hard to, even when Jamie Arnold pitching Saturday, I was right, he pitched Saturday, I was wrong, he pitched Saturday, not Friday. But even with him pitching Saturday, it was going to be hard to win twice. Last night's game, they were down 14-4, 13-3, 14-4, and they came back. I don't think they were going to win the game anyway, but the call strike 3 that ended their season on Alex Lodi's was way down. Did you see it?
Yeah, that was tough.
The bubbles at his ankles, man. And again, I'm not saying they were going to win the game, but look, I still think FSU's got a very good program under Link Jarrett. This wasn't his best team. This team was not as good as last year's team. We talked about this last week on the air, but all of a sudden, Miami, FSU, Tennessee, all gone to the house.
Yeah, teams headed to the College World Series. Arizona, Arkansas, Coastal Carolina, Louisville, LSU, Oregon State, and UCLA. Duke and Murray State play today for the final spot in the field. Arkansas is the lone top 5 seed to reach Omaha. The Razorbacks are the number 3 ranked team in the tournament. Just a lot of upsets.
A lot of parity. There's more parity than there's ever been. You talk about NIL and the portal creating parity in other sports, Hayes. Really creates parity in baseball because baseball player doesn't start even. The baseball players aren't that different. They're really not. So all of a sudden, a team like Murray State that probably has 12 transfers and are playing with a bunch of 23-year-old guys is suddenly pretty good because they're playing with the guys that have played a lot of baseball. So I don't think we've seen the end of that.
In the world of the NHL, the Stanley Cup Finals resume tonight in Sunrise as defending champ Florida tries to take a 2-1 lead on Edmonton. The first 2 games have been unbelievable so far.
Yeah, it really has. I might even take a peek because there's nothing else. There's no college baseball. There's no hoop. I might tell you, you'll be locked in.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be locked. I mean,
locked in.
You go over there to
Mr. Hockey.
You go over to the Nocatee. Okay. They're locked in.
Yeah.
So
just don't ask me any of the players that play for the Panthers other than Marchand.
I used to. That's right. He used to be the Bruins. I used to always say when Blue and I were doing radio together, my comment on hockey was, hey, how many 2-line passes? And that got ruined when 2 or 3 years ago they outlined the 2-line pass. I said, I don't even know what it was. I just knew the phrase. So I wouldn't know it was outlawed.
It really should be. If you're looking for something to watch tonight, you could definitely do worse than Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals based on how the first 2 games have gone. We don't talk tennis a lot on the Frangie Show ever. We don't. I used to watch it a ton as a kid. We don't really watch it anymore. But a sensational weekend at the French Open. Coco Gauff wins the women's singles title. So great for American tennis. And a sensational men's final is Carlos Alcaraz rallies over world number 1 Jannik Sinner in 5 sets. Alcaraz saved 3 match points in a contest that lasted a French Open Finals record 5 hours and 29 minutes. I'll be honest, I watched a little of the first set as I was having my coffee and then just sort of forgot about it. And then in the middle of the afternoon saw on Twitter that it was one of the best finals ever. I missed the whole thing, which is fine. I didn't really want to devote 5.5 hours of my Sunday to watching a tennis match. But for tennis enthusiasts, it was fantastic theater.
And Coco Gauff wins the first American to win the French since, Serena in 15 maybe? I think is what they said. So, yeah, I know you're right about that. Everybody's talking about that, man. By the way, I didn't watch one rally, but I read about it after.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get you out on our musical nugget of the day. Frangie saw a concert Friday night. So, Frank, give us your review of Old Dominion at Daly's Place.
They were really good. They know what they're doing. They probably have, I was telling Lauren Brooks this today, they probably have 12, 13 songs that I know. And I think that's that's from where I am. I don't need deep cuts. I want stuff I know. So, but Matthew Ramsey, the lead singer, is a real showman. They were very good. They were very, very good. And I don't know a lot of country bands. The ones I know, Zach Brown, and of course the old guys, Garth Brooks and Toby Keith. But they're really good. It's a really good band. It was a great show. It was packed at Daly's, and they killed it. It was well worth it. And if they come back, I'd go see them again. So Old Dominion, a very good band. And this is their anthem, and it's really good.
Did they play this last?
No, they didn't. It's funny. They played about the middle of it. They played the middle of the concert. They ended the pre-encore set with "Song from Another Time," which is probably my favorite Old Dominion song. And they ended with that. Came back and did a couple songs, and then they ended the concert. Their last song in the encore was a song called "I Was on a Boat That Day," and they rocked it out. They turned it a rock version of it. So they were very, very good. This is one-man band, and this is their anthem, and it's very good.
Awesome.
Well done, as always.
Thank you, sir.
Back to wrap the program after this.
We'll never learn how to sing the blues.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The NBA Finals is tied up at a game apiece after Oklahoma City took Game 2 on Sunday night, beating the Indiana Pacers 123-107. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 34 points. Game 3 of the series will be in Indianapolis on Wednesday night. The Pacers are a 5.5-point home underdog in the contest, minus 115 against the spread. The Thunder minus the 5.5, minus 105. On the money line, Oklahoma City minus 210, the Pacers plus 175. The over-under is at 228.5 with the over minus 105 and the under minus 115. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Oh, no. No.
You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck.
904-862-6769.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be an 8-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnickChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. I've been buying my vehicles from Nimnick since 1982 because they care about their customers and are invested in our local community, including supporting Walkoff Charities and all we're trying to do to help underprivileged kids learn to play baseball. Treating you right, giving back to the community, more choices and better prices for you. So who has put the most years and stands behind a better experience? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Visit their showroom off Cassett Avenue or shop 24/7 at NimnickChevy.com. Head to Nimnick today. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contract. Save 15% on roof replacements and repairs now through June 30th. And financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
If fishing is in your DNA, hop in the boat with Captain Kevin. It's the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
June is Men's Health Month. Be proactive towards your prostate, ED, low T, even kidney stones with Ackerman Urology. Offices in Mandarin, Middleburg, the Beaches, and World Golf Village. Trust the men's health experts at AckermanUrology.com.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. While we've earned the reputation as North Florida and South Georgia's preeminent official Rolex jeweler, it's important to point out that at Underwoods we carry other watches too. We start with Seiko, the most reliable, serviceable watch made for under $500. And they've started making jeweled, self-winding watches again, and sports watches you'd have to see to believe. Next, we have Tavan, the Swiss-made ladies and men's and dress and sport watches, and they start at $575. Another name we carry is Tudor, inspired by Rolex with the same founder and owner, the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. And their sport watches and chronographs are the rage in Swiss timekeeping, with new in-house watch movements and exciting new model introductions every year. So if you're interested in watches, we have what you want at Underwoods. And all of our watches carry a 5-year warranty. At Underwoods, in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. At South State, they believe strong relationships build strong businesses. That's why they take the time to understand your goals, challenges, and vision, so they can provide solutions tailored to your needs, like they've done for me for years. South State has always been there for our business and our charity. With a team you can trust and a commitment to personalized service, South State Bank is here to be more than your bank. They're your partner in business. Visit southstatebank.com. South State Bank, member FDIC.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where have we been today? We talked a lot about our Walkoff Charities, our dailies Walkoff Charities. Golf Classic, the 4th annual here at Deer Creek. The staff at Deer Creek was wonderful. Our friends at Dailies were wonderful. Our staff at Walkoff really did an amazing job pulling this thing off, and I'm grateful to them and so grateful to the people that came out here and played in this thing and spent their time. And I'm grateful to 1010XL, where I work. for allowing us to come to all these shows here and promote 1010 or Walkoff as much as we have. I never take that for granted. That was a fun day. We talked a little bit about the NBA Finals. We talked about Jaguar Minicamp, which starts tomorrow. 3 straight days of it's going to be an awful lot of fun. And, of course, about the U.S. Open, about the French Open, about college baseball, and the House settlement, which certainly could change forever college athletics. So it's been a good day out here. Certainly a fun thing to do. We'll tell you one more time, you've got 13 minutes left in the auction. There are some really, really great items there. If you want a terrific, terrific item, go on there right now, walkoffcharities.com. You can get really, really, really good items, and we'd love to have you get involved in it. Every dollar you spend, without exception, every dollar you spend goes to help a little kid play baseball that, frankly, otherwise would not have been able to play baseball. That's the reality, is every dollar you spend, you're helping a little kid play baseball who otherwise would not have been able to play baseball. I can't see it any better than that. So we're excited. We're excited the way it went today. And again, now you have 12 minutes. 12 minutes. And by the way, some of these people are so good at auctions, they wait till the last.
Yeah.
They're the professionals.
I'm fully expecting to get my text saying I've been swiped.
So you've been beaten out. So
but that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope you get all your items.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope it's 3 or 4 more bids down the road.
Right.
But thank you for doing that.
Oh,
so,
sure.
All right. So an exciting day out here, and we enjoyed being here. Let's say hello to Hack.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Hack is at the Community First Igloo tonight as he gets set to launch Hacker After Dark. Hack, what's going on, buddy?
Frank, I'm good, man. Yeah, we're at the Front Runners Tap House, which is inside of the Community First Igloo. Got Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight with Edmonton and Florida. Invite people to come on out. Boy, this is a great scene. I know you and Hayes, I've told you that my son learned how to skate, ice skate out here at the Community First Igloo, and is going to do some hockey out here in the coming weeks and months. So I'm very familiar with this place, and the Front Runners Tap House is right in the middle of it. It's a fantastic venue.
Awesome. Well, you're going to have a big time out there tonight, and then I know we'll see you out on the practice field the next 3 days. What else coming up tonight on the program?
Yeah, we're going to have the head coach, Dave Campo, going to preview Jaguar Minicamp. As you said, I'll be out there. I'm scheduled to talk with Fred Johnson tomorrow, so certainly looking forward to that conversation. So Dave Campo will join us. We'll start our NFC North previews tonight as well, focusing on the Detroit Lions offseason, a little on the NBA Finals as well. So we got a lot to do, taking you up till 8 o'clock this evening.
All right, it's going to be a lot of fun. Hacker Nation, Hacker After Dark comes up in just a few minutes. Hack, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Frank.
All right, that'll do it for our program. Once again, I do want to thank our friends out here at Deer Creek. Always thank the Best Bet. They're always our Monday sponsor. And, of course, Dailies for putting this thing on. We appreciate it. It's a beautiful sunny day now. It's been rain on and off, and now it's sunshine. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Don't go anywhere. Hacker's up next. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad place. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.